Are you ready, Atlantic City, New Jersey? The Hidden Trail Sea-Doo Pro Watercross National Tour presented by Jetlift invades the North Atlantic Ocean at Steel Pier for the Moto Surf Jersey Style, July 23rd and 24th. Watch the top pros on water go bar to bar in a points battle for a national championship. Free admission and fun for the whole family. That's Friday and Saturday, July 23rd and 24th at Steel Pier, Atlantic City, New Jersey. New racer info and more at prowatercross.com.
everybody, I am Dawn Dawson. Welcome to Atlantic City, New Jersey. You're watching the Hidden Trail Sea-Doo Pro Watercross National Tour presented by Jetlift. And I am here hanging out with a very familiar face, Mike Remar. It is great to have you. How does it feel to be back behind the microphone?
Well, you know, it feels great, and, you know, if you're going to come back, this is the kind of venue you'd want to come back for. Atlantic City has rolled out the red carpet. The beach has been phenomenal. The fans have been phenomenal, and the racing's been phenomenal. It doesn't get any better than this if you're going to have a comeback.
Yeah, it certainly has been a lot of fun. It's great to have you here, and I got to tell you, to try to use a gambling term, not that I'm great at gambling, but I tell you, depending on where you are, rolling sevens, pretty interesting. These guys have had a lot of crazy conditions hit them yesterday. One of the things you got to talk about is the fact that our crew had to adjust really quick yesterday to the tide. We were looking at, what, 150 feet change back and forth on the amount of beach that we were dealing with. That added for a lot of excitement, but I tell you, the best excitement was watching the pros and watching the amateurs yesterday race.
Yeah, I mean, it really made a big difference because in the morning, the high tide was in, and we were looking at, you know, decent racing conditions. And then by the afternoon, the tide had rolled out, and it was about 150 feet more of beach space. So it really made tough for rough starts, and some people dealt with it better than others.
Yeah, I tell you what, no matter which way you roll the dice, the cool thing is we are racing surf this weekend, you guys, which means an awesome position on the beach for you. You're going to love this. I love hanging out. It's my first time in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And I think it's because it's our first time. We probably ought to bring in an expert. We've got a awesome person that we'd like to interview. His name is Jim Wood. Have Jim come up and hang out with us. Jim's back there socializing already.
Jim, come on up.
I'm here. How are we doing?
Awesome. So it's Jim Wood from Atlantic City Sports Commission. So from your perspective, first off, are you a native of Atlantic City?
I am not a native of Atlantic City, but I love to work in Atlantic City, love to sell the city, and love to see the tens of thousands of people that come here every single week to enjoy everything that Atlantic City has to offer.
Oh, very cool, Jim. So I think Remar's been here before, but I've never been here. So what would be some of the cool things you think I should do?
Well, you know, we got some great dining. You know, there's some great restaurants. All the big chefs, all the biggest names in the industry are here. They all have their restaurants. You need to get in and see some of the great shows. Every weekend there's major entertainment in the city. All the biggest names that are out there in the industry perform here in Atlantic City. And of course, we've got gaming, which is kind of a fun little amenity to have. And then we also have this beautiful amenity, which is the Atlantic Ocean and the world-famous boardwalk, which is right over here. And you see that in the morning. Everybody's out exercising, riding bikes, jogging, walking, having a good time. It's just a great place to be.
Yeah, it really is. This is the first boardwalk in the United States. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's the first boardwalk in the United States. And the reason why they built it was because they had all the hotels along the beach here, but everybody who went to the beach tracked in sand into the lobbies, and they said, how can we slow this down? Hey, we have an idea. Why don't we build something, a walkway? They built the boardwalk, and that is the reason why the boardwalk was originally built, was to keep the sand out of the hotels.
And interesting that it turns into this huge landmark, right, for the town. Tell me about the Steel Pier, because that is really cool.
Yeah, you look at that steel pier, that is just an amazing attraction. You know, it's our theme park over the Atlantic Ocean. Where else can you ride a roller coaster or some of the wheel rides, bungee jump? There's a helicopter lands and takes off on the end of that pier. It really is great. And they're going to be adding an observation wheel. This time next year, there's going to be this major, huge 48-car observation wheel where the cars are air-conditioned, you can dine, you can enjoy champagne in them. It is going to be a new attraction to the Steel Pier here in Atlantic City. We're real excited about that addition.
So it's good that we know him, right? Here's the deal. So it's actually thanks to Jim Wood that we were able to come out to Atlantic City, New Jersey this year. And here's what I'm thinking, Remar. We need to just step it up. And next year we're going to announce, you know, in that little new facility they're talking about with the air conditioning and our own great seats.
Well, I can make sure we can make that work for you guys, okay?
Perfect.
We will get you in. We'll get some of the writers in. We'll just make it a fun time had by all. But I think we still have to leave the vehicles in the water.
All right, fair enough. Okay, you guys, I want to thank you so much, Jim Wood, once again for joining us, but even more importantly, for letting us come out here and for being our host this weekend for the Pro Watercross National Tour.
You know, it's our pleasure to have you guys here. We want to make sure that you guys are here every single year, enjoying this fabulous facility, and we just think this is a great event. It works perfect for Atlantic City, and as we saw yesterday from the huge crowds, They loved it, and I know
Oh,
you're
good.
going to get the same response today. So have a great day, guys.
All right, sir, we'll go get your seat. Let's get ready. You need to buckle up and get ready as well because we're about to bring you some surf racing right here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I'm here with Mike Remar. Before we get going with the show, as you know, we are so lucky and blessed to have Brian O'Rourke and all of the gang from Team Faith. And Brian is here to do our prayer as we get ready to go live with the Pro Show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and pray. Father in heaven, your word says this is the day that the Lord has made and we will rejoice in it, and that's exactly what we're going to do here today. Father, we are excited about this great venue, this new venue for us. Thank you for all the city and the staff that put on this event and all the sponsors that have come down to support our sport and to support our passion that we believe you have given us. Father, we invite you to be part of this event. Keep all the athletes safe from harm, and somehow, some way, may you get the glory. In Christ's name, amen.
Thank you again so much, Brian. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if I could have you stand and rise, please remove your hats as we honor our military and our freedom and our beautiful country by playing the national anthem. You will find the flag up in the tower. Whoa. It never fails, Remar. I always get chills. Always. All right, you guys, let's go racing. We are watching the 2016 Pro Watercross National Tour, brought to you by Hidden Trails Motorsports and, of course, Hidden Trails Sea-Doo, as well as Jet Lift. And have we got an awesome set of races coming at you. The very first one out of the gate, Remar. Wow. I'm super excited about these guys.
Yeah, Pro-Am Runabout Box Stock. And just in case you're out there and you don't understand our sport, you're listening on the beach, Box Stock pretty much means that you could go to your dealer, you could pick it up, take it out of the showroom, jump it on this course, and be race ready. Now, these are pro riders, so what makes this exciting is the fact that you have pro rider talent on box stock machines. So that's what makes it exciting. It's really riders' skill sets, how they set the machines up to handle the conditions of the water, and this should be an exciting one.
Yeah, it certainly should. I tell you what, let's go ahead and do this rundown here as we get these guys locked in behind the imaginary rubber band, because there's no way you can do a rubber band start in these kind of race conditions. He is out of Rydell, Georgia. And it is our honor to introduce you to him. He is sponsored by Metal Roofing Manufacturing, Dean's Team, and Riva. I love his race number. It's the 8-ball, Jeff Dykowski.
Also down online out of Union, New Jersey. That's right, folks. You got a local rider down there. Run for Borges Towing, Jet Lift, and the Stash Barbershop on the 88, Michael Borges.
He comes from Bradenton, Florida. He's sponsored by Judge Motorsports, Jet Pilot, and Riva. Boat number 110, we just like to call him the Slugger, Troy Snyder.
Out of Ackworth, Georgia, riding for Monster Energy, Sea-Doo, and Mountain Motorsports on the 116 boat. Give it up for Dustin Farthing.
He hails from Bellevue, Florida. He is sponsored by Hidden Trails Motorsports, Sea-Doo, X-Team, and Jet Trim. Came in second yesterday with a great run. Boat number 149, Tim Ducat.
Out of Claremont, Florida, riding for Fly Racing, Jetlift, Riva, and Black Tip on 247, Dylan Osborne.
And from Bel Air Bluffs, Florida, sponsored by Black Tip, Jet Sports, Sea-Doo, X-Team, and Riva. It's 404, Brent Venderle.
Well, I'll tell you what, Don, these guys are locked, cocked, and ready to rock. The green flag starts. So instead of having a band that snaps, we simply have a green flag, and it's down position. Once the flagman checks all the riders that they are ready to go, machines are running, everything's straight, the holders are doing their job, the flag comes up, and the race is underway.
Great description of that. You know, coming into this race, 223 points is what Dustin Farthing had. It's, we count down these number of rounds. You're watching round number 5, and it's Tim Ducat right behind you with 197 points in this 7-round tour. And there goes your whole shot.
Well, I was expecting Farthing to pull the whole shot. He did not. Looks like he's back there in that 3rd position. Now, you got to remember, folks, that because of the water conditions, the Tower of Power, where Don and I are announcing from, is a long ways from the actual front straightaway. So we're relying on Don's vision, which is better than mine, and a great pair of binoculars, along with some support from the staff to let us know what's going on. Dykowski pulling that whole shot. Number 8, Jeff Dykowski. You were just talking about a minute ago. Pulling that whole shot, and then Troy Snyder on the 110 boat, and then 116, Dustin Farthing back there in 3rd.
Interesting recap here, too, as we were watching this the other weekend. It was actually Troy Snyder that was getting the whole shot, and then Dustin Farthing running him down. Hearing the whistle out there, sounds like we've got a yellow flag. Maybe not. Maybe just green flag. Everybody's going.
Of the mule. Now, what's going on, though, is Farthing actually ran the inside split on that last lap. He was able to get by Schneider and now sets his sights on Dykowski.
Oh, my goodness, it's Ducat. Yeah, it's Ducat and Troy Snyder going back and forth. Ducat almost had him off of that red buoy going into the double yellows. It's an interesting turn that you have to set up for, right? Because you got to be fairly tight on the red buoy. And if you look back to yesterday, those surf conditions were big. So they're having to open up their turns, keep their lines a little bit wider because you didn't want to miss a buoy accidentally because of the surf. Today it's a different story, though, Mike.
Well, you know, we talked about the course last night when we were out for dinner, and I, as an announcer, really like an honest, fair course where you can have some passing. There were a lot of passes yesterday for riders that tried the inside split. And then same thing on the right side. There goes Farthing making a move on Dykowski. Farthing coming off that inside split, like I just said, made that move, and he made the pass before the right side chicane.
Yeah, he really perfectly illustrated your point because it is that split section that allows these guys to get through on some clean water. Nice job, Dustin Farthing. Gentleman that we affectionately call King D, and you can certainly see why.
Well, he's had a lot of nicknames over the years. If you remember way back in the day when he was the Micro Missile, right? And then before he became King D, right? When he was just a little guy. Mm-hmm. What the weird thing is this morning I was at the riders meeting and I saw Dustin Farthing's little guy, Devin. I tell you, some years have gone by.
What's cool about that, though, is Dev Dog is already showing some of the cool attributes of his incredible and athletic dad, you know, and it's that race competitiveness, how he handles himself on the line. It's pretty cool to watch that second generation of Farthings. Speaking of Farthings, it is King D in the lead, boat number 116, who I had just talked to you about earlier. This is the guy that's coming into this round, currently leading in the point standing, and I think Remar had mentioned this yesterday, but Dustin's actually decided to donate all of his winnings this year to a local charity in Ackworth, Georgia. Pretty cool.
Yeah, you know, that's what this is about. We always talk about this being a family sport. And, you know, interestingly enough, Atlantic City is sharing their beach with us this weekend. We're sharing our sport with them. I think it makes for a great marriage. And it's all about community. It's about family. Dustin proving that point by donating his earnings, his winnings on the tour this year back to a good charity there in Ackworth.
Yeah, and I tell you what, guys. Hey, by the way, thank you so much for watching the national tour. And what Carson was trying to indicate to these great guys walking down the beach, we just want to make sure you're behind these little markers here that have all of our great sponsors. The reason we want you behind them is that is for your safety. So if you could move on the other side of those, sir. Kevin, honey bunny. Gentlemen, if you could have everybody move to this side of those markers, the sponsor markers. Kevin Kennedy, Mr. Kennedy, we need to have that gentleman move. All right. I'll tell you what, I'll just go down there. How's that?
Well, I'll tell you what, we got some great racing action going on here in the Pro-Am Runabout box stock class here right away in the morning, as Dustin Farthing made that pass on Jeff Dykowski. And so now Jeff Dykowski in the number 8 boat out of Rydell, Georgia, running second. And then Troy Snyder on the 110 boat running third, with Tim Ducat on the 149 running in that fourth place position. Farthing really starting to stretch that lead out now.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, it's so fun to have Tim Ducat doing the national tour with us. I've been a big part of that Hidden Trails Motorsports team, and this guy has really been impressive. Certainly, we've talked about him a ton out at the World Finals and on the national tour. No stranger to the podium, no stranger to a national title, but I love how he has been racing this year. He's been even more aggressive, I think, and he's got a great boat underneath him, and it certainly has added to the excitement. So Tim Ducat, gentlemen's currently running second on the national tour in points.
Well, that's the nice thing about having Dawn Dawson here. This gal has a memory like an elephant. You know, they say that elephants don't forget anything, and Dawn doesn't either. I mean, she's got all the lingo. She's got all the stats. She's got everything that you need to be able to know what's going on in this tour. Speaking of this tour, you can check us out during those live feeds on prowatercross.com. You can check us out on Facebook. You can check us out on YouTube. And you can check us out on your FM dial at 91.5. I'll tell you what, if you're watching this live stream and other folks should be watching it, if you're here at the race, send out a text. Let your friends know that you can check that stuff out. prowatercross.com, Facebook, YouTube, 91.5 on your FM dial.
You know, we definitely got to talk about the slugger, Troy Snyder. Troy has been on the national tour year after year. He's an incredible competitor. He's currently running up in third with 190 points coming into this round. And Troy's had a bit of a mixed bag this year, but man, he had a great round on that last stop in St. George. His opportunity in this class, actually, Dustin Farthing was having some issues, and Troy Snyder actually taking the win. This guy, so much fun to watch and so competitive. Troy Snyder, who, by the way, and I think this is kind of the cool story behind a lot of these racers. He owns a business down in Bradenton, Florida, a very successful home builder. So for him to be able to, take away time, right? Like, hey guys, I'm leaving for the weekend. I'm going to go racing.
Well, you know how that goes. If you run a successful business, your business should be able to remain successful while you're gone.
Yeah, speaking of Troy Snyder and Tim Ducat, look at Ducat putting the pressure on him. That is a boat number 110, and Ducat trying to sneak underneath his elbow. Snyder's like, what, you think I don't see you?
Yeah, because Farthing's checked out of this one. He's a half lap ahead of the rest of the racers, but Dykowski holding on to that second position. The real race right now, like you said, Don, is between Troy Snyder and Tim Ducat, as they are slicing and dicing it up over here on the right side chicane, headed to that back split or back straightaway right now.
So Snyder's still in second. Ducat about, what are you looking at, 4 seconds behind, 5 seconds behind. Not a comfortable distance by any means. So want to keep our eye on that second place. You can see Snyder going to be going into the outside. Ducat's going to try to pick up the inside. Let's see if he can make that work like Dustin Farthing did.
Well, and are they closing ground? They're making up ground on Dykowski pretty rapidly. So we might see that battle for second, third, and fourth really unfold here in the next lap or so.
Oh, there it is right there. Oh, my goodness. It's right in the back of Troy Snyder's pocket.
Well, they head into the right side chicane, and Snyder trying to hold that line on the inside, Ducat from the outside. I liked how on that last trip down the front straightaway, Snyder came off the outside split and then crossed over and kind of took away the line that Ducat was looking to pick up.
They are pretty sneaky. When you watch the pros race, it's a lot of fun to watch how they work strategy, right? Because he's been pushing right up in his back mirror, make sure, like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm here, see if I can psych you out. The thing is, Snyder's just not easily psyched, right? He's no stranger to that. Uh-oh, I just heard a little something that Snyder might have been running on top of a buoy. Oh, he went wide of it. Went wide. Didn't miss it, just went wide of it. Still on that outside. That might be the gap he needed. Meanwhile, Dykowski, great hole shot from him. He's got to be stoked. And look at Ducat coming from the inside, Mike.
Wow, I thought he had him. Ducat ran a heck of an inside split, and Snyder just came across again, same as last time, and took away his line. So Ducat, the last 2 laps in a row, has tried to make that inside split work for him. It looked as though he had it. Snyder, with that power and momentum off the outside, just carried it over and took away his line.
Yeah, Ducat not backing off there. He keeps pushing him on these lines. You're going to see these guys hit that back stretch in just a minute. Meanwhile, the black boat on the front stretch, that is boat number 116, and that is your current leader, Dustin Farthing. By the way, you guys, Pro-Am Ski Stock, I need to have you on the line. Hey, special thanks. Remar's like, you read my mind, Dawson. Hey, special thanks, by the way, to Rick Ignacio. If you guys want to check us out, go to prowatercross.com and you can watch the live stream. Hey, it's so good to have you join us. By the way, oh my gosh, Rick, you've got to come here. I have to show you our tech geek here. This guy, he's actually programming all of our cell phones. He's also getting all the local cable channels. I'm just kidding. That's how he operates all the cameras. By the way, I want to thank you guys for all your great feedback on the live feed. You've really been helping us a ton. Speaking of thanking, I also want to do a special thanks to Visit West Virginia for sponsoring our live feed this year and being a big part of racing. And we're going to be in West Virginia in just a couple of weeks.
You know, Dawn, that sounds pretty darn exciting. I did come out of retirement just for this tour stop. But now I'm having such a good time. It's so exciting. I'm thinking, I might have to make it down to West Virginia.
It's addicting,
Whether I'm
isn't it?
on the job or not, I might just go there and be a spectator.
Well, now here's the deal. AJ and the crew and Carson, they actually make you sign a waiver, and on that waiver, it's a disclaimer telling you that it's really addicting to be a part of Watercross. I'm just saying. All right, we're still watching the Runabout Box Stock.
And here we go down the front straightaway. It's still those same guys going at it. And we got lap traffic in the way now as the front of the pack moving up on the back of the pack. So Dustin Farthing, currently your leader as he's working his way off the outside split section now. Still holding on to that second position is Jeff Dykowski, but that race for third and fourth between Troy Snyder and Tim Ducat is heating up. White flag out, Don.
Yeah, I tell you, I was just thinking of the last time I got to talk to Jeff Dykowski, and he had gotten the whole shot on, it was either the last round or the round before. I think it was last round, actually. Got the whole shot in front of Dustin Farthing. And Remar, you would have thought that he had achieved 3 of his 4 bucket list things, right? It's like, oh my God, I got the whole shot. And then I was ahead for I don't know, what do you think, 8 minutes? No, maybe 3. No, maybe 5 minutes. He's so fun, though. He's so competitive. Guy's 50-plus years old, right? Incredible athlete. And that boat is a rocket ship this year. Huge acknowledgement to the 8-ball Jeff Dykowski, who, by the way, is still holding off Ducat and Snyder. Oh,
yeah, really, the guy's riding an incredible race. And I was talking to the folks on the beach earlier because, a lot of folks would look at this and figure, well, it's a young guy's sport. But Jeff Dykowski right there, 58 years old, holding on to a rocket ship. Dustin Farthing down the front straightaway, going to pick up the checkered flag, going to pick up the win here in Pro-Am Runabout Box Stock, which is race number 8. That does mean we need race number 9, Pro-Am Ski Stock, working its way down toward the line. So Farthing picks up the win. Let's see what happens in second and third and fourth here.
Well, I wouldn't look away from the course based on what's been happening the last couple of laps with Dykowski and Snyder and Ducat. It looks like that is going to be Dykowski. Oh, he's going to be so stoked.
Yep, Dykowski going to race, wrap it up in second.
Yep. Whoa. Troy Snyder going to take third. Ducat fourth.
Yeah, so Ducat was all over Snyder like a bad rash. It's one of my favorite things to say. I mean, if you got a bad rash and you just can't get rid of it, it's tough. So Ducat was all over Snyder like a bad rash all through that race. But you know what? Snyder was able to hold him off, pick up that third place position in what we're deeming Moto 2. So just so you know, if you're watching out there, yesterday the Pro Show, the pros ran Moto number 1. This morning they're running Moto number 2, and then this afternoon there will be Moto number 3. put those all together, and that's what we'll figure out will be our champions here in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
All right, again, Pro-Am ski stocks. We're going to the pro riders, but they're going to be on stock boats, which to me makes it even more challenging because we're going to limit their horsepower. And really what that means is it gets an opportunity for you and I to truly see the skill and just all the minute details that really turn an average race into an outstanding race. You'll get to see that coming next. Pro-Am ski stock.
It absolutely is the most fun I've ever had in Atlantic City.
I love that Landshark is right on the beach.
Margaritaville, everyone's having a great time.
I feel a lot younger.
Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, the Landshark Bar and Grill, the 5 o'clock somewhere bar.
I'll probably be there for the rest of the summer.
A new wave of entertainment is making a splash this summer at resorts. Book your room at resortsac.com. The fun is here.
Hi, I'm Shane Weigel from Spring Grove, Pennsylvania. I'm here in Atlantic City, New Jersey, racing the beginner ski stock class. Thanks for watching Pro Watercross.
Boat Amsoil Imagination Fabrication, number 10, Callaway Turner.
Oh, you were waiting for me, weren't you? Out in Naples, Florida, sponsored by Monster Energy, Mac Racing, Broward Motorsports, K1, Jet Trim, Jet Pilot, Jet Lift, ADA, and Liquid Militia. With a first place finish yesterday in the first moto, it is boat number 13 on OPP, as Remar likes to say. It's the Mac Attack, Chris McCluggage.
Yesterday, finishing third in Moto number 1 out of Miramar, Florida, riding for Broward Motorsports, Team Mean Racing, Wet Sport Racing, Exotic Signs, and Hamilton's on the 51 boat. Give it up for David Cabrera.
He hails from Sanford, North Carolina. He got a second yesterday in that first moto. He's sponsored by Judge Motorsports, Jam Racing, Hidden Trails Motorsports, IPD Graphics, ADA Racing, and ProWatercraftRacing.com. Definitely exemplifies how to bring the whole family to the race. Trans together for boat number 300, Jimmy Wilson.
And rounding out our field out of Doylestown, PA, riding for Jet Tribe, Fly, ADA, Full Spectrum, Scat Track, Bullet, Hot Products, and Riva on the 912 boat. Give it up for Rick Shirker.
The Shirk Attack in the house. And speaking of Shirker, Shirker needs a Shark energy drink. I got to pick on somebody because normally I pick on Mike Young. It is a green flag. Callaway just a smidge behind on that start.
Yeah, it looked like maybe he caught the odd angle of a wave, so he wasn't quite off with the other racers.
Oh, I'm hearing some screaming from the Broward Motorsports. I'm kind of wondering if that's Speedy Cabrera with the whole shot.
I think Cabrera pulled the whole shot, to tell you the truth. I did see him up there with that red boat, his team in the water, hooting and hollering. So a couple of riders going to the outside split, a couple of riders going to the inside split, and I think you're right. Cabrera did pull the whole shot. Let's see if he's able to hold on to it as they approach the front straightaway.
It's going to be Jimmy Wilson on that inside, and that could be the spoiler. Oh, side by side, Remar. It is looking like this for your top four. You've got Cabrera with the call on the whole shot. Jimmy Wilson in second. It's McCluggage and Shirker side by side. Going to be McCluggage get the better end out of that as they came to that red buoy.
Well, we had a rider go down there, and I think that, that was Jimmy Wilson that struggled. I think McCluggage got by him. McCluggage now moves into second position as they're all chasing David Cabrera off the right side chicane and toward the back straightaway.
Man, I thought that was going to shape up to be quite a battle, but it was actually Wilson that went down temporarily. But I thought, because Wilson's darn good in the surf too, I really thought that was going to be a battle. But he pushed him just hard enough, and I think that surf faced him out.
Yeah, it did. He hit the face of that wave, and the boat took a little dive that cost Jimmy Wilson the position there in second place. So this time, let's look at the split section. Cabrera runs the outside split again, and McCluggage going to go to the inside split. This is going to be tight as they come off. Cabrera with the momentum, McCluggage on the inside. Not going to be enough, but I think he gained some ground.
Oh, man, great run from this gentleman out of Miramar, Florida. He's actually part of that awesome team, Broward Motorsports, and you can see the gang down here from Broward Motorsports cheering him on. Sam Nemi, Ken Waddle, and those guys pushing him right now, and he certainly needs all the help he can get. He is an awesome rider, but he has got some pressure behind him in about 3 seconds at the most, the Mac Attack.
Well, you know, what's pretty awesome about this, too, Don, is, you know, you're looking at the ages of the riders. McCluggage has been around forever, so has David Cabrera. McCluggage is 42 years old now. I can't hardly believe that as I look down at my paperwork.
I know. It's kind of cool to watch these guys, and they just seem to get wilier. I thought McCluggage was going to sneak that inside on that back stretch, but Cabrera is still able to hold him off. I see Sam Nemi down there has got his fingers crossed.
Well, here they go. McCluggage's going to run that inside split section again, and Cabrera running the outside. Cabrera trying to work that momentum. McCluggage hard on the throttle on the inside. This is going to be tight. They come down the front straight. Mac on the inside, Cabrera on the outside. Will Cabrera have the momentum? They cross lines, Dawn.
They did, and that was absolutely intentional. McCluggage trying to give Cabrera a little bit of messy water, but Cabrera didn't back off. In fact, held it on and snuck back in the lead. Not very many riders I know able to pull that little stunt. Nice work.
Yeah, that was interesting to see them come off the split sections and literally cross lines. Awesome. You know, try to take away that line of the other rider. They went into this right side chicane, and Cabrera kind of dipped that nose a little bit, gave McCluggage a little bit of pump wash.
Wow, I got to say, man, hands down, that was one of the coolest moves we've seen yet this morning. Nice work for Speedy Cabrera, the gentleman out of Miramar, Florida. Cool story behind him, too, right? He had that really bad accident years ago, and one of the fastest rehabilitations things I've ever seen. Guy is just indomitable. I mean, you know, if you were going to put an adjective to him, he's indomitable.
I think they switched up. I think that Cabrera went inside this time, and McCluggage went outside, trying to switch it up and throw McCluggage off his game as Cabrera. So this time they come off the inside. It's Cabrera on the inside, McCluggage on the outside, and Cabrera ran one heck of an inside split. He added to his lead.
Not only did he do that, but he also protected his line to that first critical turn off the front stretch, that red buoy, and I honestly think that was a pretty good strategy for Speedy Cabrera. And now you got to be thinking, this is where those little minute details that you and I have been talking about are going to come in play. This is a stock boat, right? So they can't just grab some throttle as soon as somebody makes a mistake. It's all of the stuff that's cumulative. So let's see what happens as we count down this 12-minute moto.
Well, we've got quite the boat going down the back straightaway there as well. That boat's pretty tight, and I tell you what, that wake's going to come right into this course. So not only do you have the waves to deal with, but you're also going to have the wake from that boat. This race is shaping up to be one of the best we've seen so far this weekend. As they go to the split section, what's it going to be? It looks like Cabrera went inside again, and McCluggage going to go to the outside. We'll see. That worked last time for Cabrera.
7 minutes. We still got quite a bit of racing, and look at McCluggage. That was what I was talking about, the details in Max. Max, wow. Like, dadgummit.
That was incredible. Cabrera and McCluggage going at it. Cabrera ran the inside split again. You know, he ran that outside a couple of times. He let McCluggage get comfortable on the inside and then switched it up.
Yeah, and I got to say, you know, what's nice about Chris McCluggage as well, he is on, as we talked about, OPP. He's actually riding Sammy Nemi's boat. And I saw some money exchange hands early this morning. I think Sammy's renting it.
That sounds awesome to me, but that's how it is in the personal watercross family here at Pro Watercross. You know, people help each other out, riders help each other out, even competitors will loan parts and whatnot to one another. It's just that good.
Certainly, how cool would that be, right? Sammy comes up to Chris McCluggage and he's like, "Hey, Mac, I'm gonna let you borrow my boat again, but I'm gonna need some money for college. So it's gonna be $100. I'm just kidding. I doubt very seriously they charge him, but it's so cool that he's actually riding Sammy Nemi's boat. And I think it's fun for me from a junior standpoint, right? It's gonna be kind of cool. It's like, yeah, Chris McCluggage likes my boat.
Courtesy flags out off that inside split. It's David Cabrera again. McCluggage doing the 7th inning stretch down the front straightaway. And I do believe, is that Jimmy Wilson closing it back up?
It is.
So Jimmy Wilson, who had faded, has closed the gap on these guys. So now Jimmy Wilson, no, it's a lapper. Okay, I'm getting the official lowdown from Don Dawson. As the front of the pack has moved up onto the back of the pack, now we have lapped riders. Still Cabrera and McCluggage going at it down that back straightaway. So we've got lappers, McCluggage off the outside, Cabrera off the inside.
Oh, that's Shirker. That's actually, I think, Rick Shirker in third. That's what I'm going to say. Wilson fourth, Callaway Turner fifth. I'm going to call it that way. Come correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, absolutely. Everything we say is absolutely and unequivocally unofficial. Absolutely and unequivocally unofficial. So we call it the best we can see it. Sometimes we're right. Most of the time we're right. Every once in a while we're wrong. And we are willing to admit it. So back to the front of the pack on this one. We're looking at the split section unfold again. It's been Cabrera and McCluggage switching up, going back and forth. I'll tell you what, this just shows you how good of a course the Pro Watercross team has set up here, because the splits are virtually equal. And it's David Cabrera stretching out that lead a little bit over McCluggage. And I'll tell you what, whoever that is riding behind them is giving them everything that they want.
All right, you guys. Hey, don't forget to drop by the merchandise booth. We were giving away a ton of great, not giving away, but we're selling you for a really good price. A ton of great T-shirts. You, too, can be part of the Pro Watercross crew. All you got to do is grab your own Pro Watercross T-shirt right here, the merchandise tent right next to us. Or you could go and get the Bomber eyewear, and we have got more action happening on that backstretch. And it is the Mac Attack, and Cabrera still going at it.
Yeah, this time we've got a rider that went inside, one that went out, and there's that third rider that we have there. Did we deem that is Shirker, or is it Jimmy Wilson?
No, it is Wilson.
Okay. I kind of thought that he closed ground back up and caught back up to McCluggage and Cabrera after he had that bobble earlier. Mac Attack with the pass. So Chris McCluggage, now your leader, as he and Wilson went the inside split. Cabrera went the outside split. Wilson and McCluggage both made the pass on Cabrera on that split section.
And then we're looking at Rick Shirker up there in fourth. You're watching Pro-Am Ski Stock, and we're getting close to that halfway mark. You've got Sport GP up next. Need to have you guys down the line. All this great action, by the way, brought to you by Hidden Trails of Motorsports and Sea-Doo. Also, big shout-out to Jet Lift, a brand new big sponsor for us for 2016. And as if it doesn't get even better, because it really does get even better, we've got Squatch in the house. Tell them about that.
Well, Jack Links is one of the sponsors this year, and they've got their primary product, Squatch, Feed the Beast, and they've got a tent set up right here on the beach, giving out free samples all day. So, folks, if you're down there on the beach and you want from free Squatch, come on down here and see Dane. He's right there. He's that buff-looking dude with the hat in front of the Squatch tent. Come down, check him out. We're going to send some product in your hands if you come on over there and see the Squatch tent live right there on the beach here in Atlantic City.
Hey, Dane, by the way, I'm so glad that you got the opportunity to come hang out with us and watch Pro Watercross right here in Atlantic City. And speaking of Atlantic City, man, I just can't thank you guys enough, the city of Atlantic City, New Jersey, for hosting us for the fifth round here for the Pro Watercross National Tour.
You are currently watching Pro-Am Ski Stock, which means we need to have Sport GP. Sport GP should be down online right now. I need to see the Sport GP votes down there online as we are rolling through these races.
Hey, I want to say hi to all you guys that are out there getting a tan and hanging out with us on a Sunday. I don't know if you've been watching Pro Watercross before, but thank you so much for being a part of this today. Man, we are so lucky to be able to hit the shores of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Sorry, I was trying to grab my new Bomber eyewear.
Well, the white flag's out, so it's going to be just one lap to go as Chris McCluggage comes down the front straightaway, trying to hold off Jimmy Wilson. So now it's McCluggage out in front, Jimmy Wilson trying to close that gap in second, and I think Shirker might have gotten by Cabrera as well. Is that Shirker heading into the right side chicane? So Rick Shirker now moves into that third position, and David Cabrera moves back to fourth.
Need to have Sport GP on the line. Sport GP on the line. Okay, as that white flag continues to fly, let's talk a little bit about this race. We've had a lot of back and forth between Chris McCluggage and the gentleman out of Miramar, Florida, David Cabrera, aboard that 51 boat. And then I got to tell you, the gentleman that played the sneaker move was Jimmy Wilson, young man who just got a family started this year. He's been a very successful job going, and for him to be able to come out here and race with us, he didn't make all of the tour rounds, but man, I tell you what, every time we watch him, he is spectacular. Please put your hands together for the gentleman that made it all come together last couple of laps, Chris McCluggage with the win.
Yeah, McCluggage picking up the win there, sponsored by Monster Energy Drink, Mac Racing, Broward Motorsports, K1, Jet Trim, Jet Pilot, Jet Lift, Ada, and Liquid Militia picked up the win. Taking second, going to be 300, Jimmy Wilson out of Sanford, North Carolina, on his Judge Motorsports Jam Racing machine. And then wrapping it up in third, 912, Rick Shirker out of Doylestown, PA, riding for Jet Tribe, Fly, ADA, Full Spectrum, Scat Track, Bullet, Hot Products, and Riva.
All right, now we're going to be switching holes on you. So what you've been doing now is you've been watching the stand-up racing, and these are skis. What we're going to do at this point is going to take it over to stock again, but we're going to move it to sport. So it's like a hybrid, if you think about a hybrid between sit-down and stand-up. Now, we're still not going to give them a ton of horsepower, though. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring out a boat that actually has not been manufactured, Remar, since the mid-90s. But what is fascinating to me is this sport class was so popular in the 90s that even though we lost the manufacturer support, what happened was it was an opportunity for all the aftermarket companies to really come in. They've started building aftermarket hulls. They did a ton of aftermarket parts. And the byproduct of that has been full gates of sport riders. And that's what you're going to watch coming to the line right now. It's pretty fun. And a couple of different types of sport machines coming at you, too.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Sport GP, you know, so these guys have got some pretty monstrous machines out there. And like I was telling the crowd earlier, you're talking about a one-person sit-down. These machines ride very high in the water. You wouldn't ride another rider on them. They're quite tippy, and man, do they get some air off the waves. So we'll see how the waves and the conditions here affect this race. Sport GP, race number 10, getting ready to go off.
And here is a bit of the recap.
It absolutely is the most fun I've ever had in Atlantic City.
I love that Landshark is right on the beach.
Margaritaville, everyone's having a great time.
I feel a lot younger.
Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, the Landshark Bar and Grill, the 5 o'clock Somewhere Bar.
I'll probably be there for the rest of the summer.
A new wave of entertainment is making a splash this summer at resorts. Book your room at resortsac.com. The fun is here.
Hi, Patty from Union, New Jersey, supporting Gorgeous, number 88. Thanks for watching Pro Watercross.
He's not here. I'll tell you who is here, though, and that is Johnny Smith on boat number 72. Came into this round with 101 points, and he is poised to move into a podium position. The question is, will he be able to do the rest of the tour round? He also has got a full-time job, as a lot of these guys do, and it's really hard for him to get away from work.
Hello, my name is Talon Chambers, and I'm at the Pro Watercross race. Always remember to wear a helmet, life jacket, and back brace at all times when you're on the water.
Hey, my name is Dominic and I'm at the Pro Watercross race. So that's a true fact, Talon. Because if you didn't wear a helmet, if you whacked yourself on maybe like your jet ski, you could have broke your head. But if you had a helmet on, you would have been safe. If you had a back brace on, you would have been safe. You wouldn't crack your back.
Doggles, it's Sean Reynolds.
Well, we can slow down.
My name is Talon Chambers, and I'm at the
Looks like red people. I definitely see red people. It's red flag out.
Yeah, that red flag out. So we're going to bring them back. We're going to repack them, re-rack them, and restack them, Don Dawson, as we're going to pull that race back and get them started. Now, Don, we got this quick break here, and there's a gal up here in the tower. What's your name again there, miss?
I'm Eileen.
Eileen, and sometimes fall over. That's right. Eileen, you have something in that package that you're presenting to Don Dawson. What is that there?
It's for Princess Dawn. It's a tiara for her to wear today.
Oh, my God.
Imagine that. Eileen has brought a princess's tiara for Don Dawson, and she's being crowned the Princess of Pro Watercross.
All right. Really?
We need the princess wave at the camera, Don. There you go.
This is what happens when you invite friends to watch you at the races. This is my dear friend Eileen Elliott, who knows way too much about me. None of you may talk to her. Thank you so much. Oh, wait, there's more. You're awesome. Thank you so much. I love you, girl. All right, let's get these guys back in the gate, sir.
I think we had a rider that get tagged for a premature jump there. So we got a rider on the inside. Is that Sam Nemi with his hand on the inside? Green flag racing. Sam Nemi, I do believe, on the inside got docked and had to start with his hand on his head.
Here's what happens. First off, as you know, if you jump the start, that's one of the reasons why we would call a red flag on you. And unfortunately, that's premature acceleration, and that's bad in any sport. So that's a tough call, unfortunately, for our buddy Sam Nemi. I will have to tell you, though, I do not necessarily think that it's going to put him out of the game by any means. This gentleman, by the way, has not lost a round yet. He's gotten second in one moto of all the motos that he's done. He's won every single final. You are in so much trouble for that. All right, who's the hole shot? Kelly Smith.
Yeah, I do believe we had Kelly Smith on the Sea-Doo pull the hole shot then. He's out in front. And Sam Nemi, even having had to start with a dead boat, has already worked his way back up into that second position. So you got Kelly Smith, your current leader, Sam Nemi, currently running second. Not bad, considering he started with a dead boat.
Yeah, that's typical of an athlete of that caliber. You got Johnny Smith up at third. Gentleman that I have been talking about, definitely the dark horse in this game, coming into this round with about 101 points. And the trick for that is that Johnny hasn't been able to do all the rounds. Look how fast Sam Nemi got into the tray of Kelly Smith. And Sam's going to line up and take that outside split. You got Kelly Smith on the inside split. Reamer, I would not want to put a bet on this.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. And I tell you what, Sam Nemi made that hellacious comeback, and he comes off that outside split section. He just put the move on Kelly Smith off the outside split, and he made the pass into first place.
Rat-a-tat-tat. All right, so Broward Motorsports already back at the top of that game, and Kelly Smith, who, by the way, is a former arena cross and supercross racer. This guy is no slouch. He is an incredible racer. And what is great about Kelly Smith, by the way, your defending national champion, is that he understands how to work a line. This race is definitely not over. So we're watching Sam Nemi right now, though, getting a lot of real estate at Atlantic City, New Jersey, off of that backstretch.
Well, this is a sport GP class, so they take a sport boat and they drop in a much larger motor than what the manufacturer ever thought of putting in it back in the day. And these things just really, they go, and they go.
Well, and again, what's fun about this class, now watch Sam Nemi from the inside. Sam leading and opening up this gap even more. Now, Sam is on, it looks like a shorter boat, right? That is a Blaster design hull. It's like the old Yamaha Blaster. And they did that to kind of the original manufacturer, but a fun hull. That's actually a Hamilton designed hull. And then right behind him, you've got Kelly Smith. And Kelly is aboard that HX, which is kind of a longer, looks a little bit more like a submarine, if I were to kind of describe the ride. But I would have to say, between the two, and we'll just kind of do our own reader's poll up here. Remar, have you ridden both of these boats?
I have ridden both of those boats. In fact, I've raced both of those boats.
Which one do you prefer?
Why are you going to put me on the spot like that, Don? Back in the day when I raced sport class, I was racing on OPP because a couple of people wanted me to try the class, and I rode on the Sea-Doo HX, and I very much fell in love with it.
So you like the HX. Now, you'll notice Sam, once again, taking that inside. A lot of times these riders, if they find that they're really running into the flow, right? Like, I feel comfortable on this inside split. I feel like that split's faster. They will repeatedly take it, unless, of course, they're pulling strategy like you talked about. Looks to me like he's starting to open up a gap.
Yeah, he's stretching that lead about as they go into the right side chicane. Kelly Smith trying to catch up and see what he can do, but there's just a ton of horsepower underneath of that hood of Sam Nemi's boat.
By the way, this race action and all the cool calls that you're hearing brought to you by Bomber Eyewear. Really want to say a huge shout out. They're a brand new sponsor for us for 2016. And also a massive shout out for our official mats for the 2016 Tour, HydroTurf. All right, back to this race action. You got Sam Nemi on the inside split. You've got Kelly Smith also going to the inside.
Interesting. So this time, Sam Nimi went to the inside split, and instead of taking the other split that is, Kelly Smith determined he would follow. Now, a lot of times you wouldn't follow another racer because the white water is actually filled with air, and the pumps don't hook up as well. So he opted to follow. Maybe he knows something's going on.
Well, I'm just kind of thinking Kelly perhaps is strategizing as he was watching that the last couple of laps, felt like Sam was maybe pulling away from him. He's like, you know what, I feel like I think this inside split's a little faster. So he's going to choose to follow him, see if he can gain back any of that time. Because, again, only 12-minute motos, and you can only allow so much time, right? And then you got to start reeling him in. And Kelly Smith knows he can feel the clock.
Well, they work it down that back straightaway. And, Kelly Smith took that gamble, followed him this last time. This time, Nimi going to the inside and Smith going to go to the outside. So he tried it one time. Obviously, he didn't like it because he went back outside. But Sam Nimi is really starting to check out of this one as he's down the front straightaway, making his sponsors proud.
All right, so again, Sam Nimi from Ballard Motorsports. I've got to say, probably at this point, about a 20-second lead. It's Kelly Smith on the Team Faith boat in second, and then, of course, Johnny Smith, the gentleman that I had been talking about, who, by the way, had a special sponsor help get him out here to this national tour stop. It's KC Whitetails, I believe, that was a sponsor that helped him get here, so shout out and big props for Johnny Smith. Currently up in third, and he needs to rack up these points. I would love to have Johnny come and do the rest of this national tour, because I think between these three racers, it's spectacular enough, honestly, between Kelly and Sam Nimi and the other guys that have been in this race. But I'd love to have Johnny come in here and mix it up as well. I miss Billy Dearman, though. I want to know where Bill is.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a few riders that aren't here on this stop this weekend that we talked about earlier, shaking up the point spread a little bit. And, we talked about the Matzuris brothers not being here. And, points are going to change. Things are going to flip around. It'll be interesting to see where the points stand after this round 5 here in Atlantic City.
I'll tell you what is standing, and that is the halfway mark, which means we need to have Pro-Am Runabout GP down on the line. Pro-Am Runabout GP, I need to have you guys make your way down to the line.
The courtesy flags are out now. Courtesy flags out, which means we are at the halfway point of this one. The Sport GP class at the halfway point.
All right, you guys. Hey, another quick housekeeping tip for you. This housekeeping tip brought to you by Shark Energy Drink. By the way, we need some Shark Energy Drink, I'm thinking. We've got to get Mike Remar here addicted to the Shark. Okay, so the housekeeping tip, Remar, is this. We've got 2 more races and then freestyle in the pro show, and then we're going to be doing the amateur awards, and then we're going to be going back to our motos, our final motos for the pro show, okay? So that's how it's going to run. Could take a break right after freestyle, do the awards for amateurs, and then we're going to go to these final motos right here in Atlantic City, New Jersey for round number 5.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. That gets some of the amateurs, maybe they have the choice of traveling if they want to or checking out the rest of the pro show. I think most will probably stay and check out the pro show. But some of these riders came from a long ways away to participate in this event right here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I tell you what, Atlantic City has rolled out the red carpet. We very much enjoy being here. The courtesy flags were out just a lap or 2 ago, which meant we were at the halfway point of this race.
And again, the points look like this. It was Sam Nimi, as I talked about, actually came into this round with 240 points. Kelly Smith with 197. Bluntly, Kelly really needed the win today. But you know what? Sometimes it just doesn't work out your way. And here's the bottom line. We still got another one to go, right? You never know in 3 motos what's going to happen. And that's kind of the purpose of the 3-moto system.
I like the 3-moto system. I got to admit it. Like back in the day when we just ran 2 motos, it seemed like there was a good blend, but it really shakes things up. You get 3 motos in there, you're really going to have a top-notch racer who's consistent picking up that win.
Well, very well said. Again, you've been watching the Sport GP class. Now, we've talked a lot about stock, right? But GP is super cool. But let me describe GP to you. If you have a credit card and you don't have a limit on your credit card, that's a good thing because that's what you're going to need to race in the GP class because there ain't no limit unless you have a limit on your card. And if you do, I suggest you borrow your buddy's card. Because on that GP class, you can do just about whatever you want to underneath the hood. In fact, you can do whatever you want to the hull as well. It's kind of open season, and that's, I think, what makes it so fun for these racers. Then you combine that with the class that's just fun anyway, right? This little hybrid class to me is a lot of fun to watch. You're watching Sport GP. You're also watching Pro Watercross. Right here, brought to you by Jet Lift. Listen, if you are going to get your boats back and forth from the water, there's only one way to do it. That's Jet Lift. And, of course, I love them because they come in pink, so doesn't get any better than that. And purple. And neon green. Back out on the track, Domination Nation from Florida all the way to Atlantic City, New Jersey.
We need to have race number 11 working its way down towards the line. Pro-Am Runabout GP. Pro-Am Runabout GP. Race number 11 should be working its way down towards the line. Back to that racing action. It's still Sam Nemi. Sam Nemi on the 13 machine out of Cooper City, Florida. Doing it up proud for his sponsors, Broward Motorsports, Judge Motorsports, and Exotic Signs. He's being hounded by Kelly Smith, although he has really about a full front straightaway ahead now of Kelly Smith.
Yeah, and looking like Johnny Smith's got some engine problems going on out there. I see him going into cruise mode like he's in a no-wake area, and that's not normal for the young man on that gold Wave Blaster. Meanwhile, you guys, I do have a public service announcement for you. We've got a silver F-150 that we need to have moved. That's H147LS. That's your license plate number, H147LS. Looks like a Florida license plate, actually. But I need to have you guys move that vehicle immediately or it's going to get towed, unfortunately, and I'd hate to have that happen to you. So again, silver F-150, license plate number H147LS. This public service announcement brought to you by Squatch, Jack Links, and special thanks to Dane for hanging out with us this week. And you also can get your very own Squatch, and he has been sampling down there all weekend long.
All right, we're running a contest. Go get the t-shirt. The only way you're going to get your t-shirt is we're doing a selfie contest. Oh my God. And you have to put your selfie underneath these girls. Okay? They got to become a fan. And it says selfie contest. Okay, cool. So they go to Facebook, be a fan at Pro Watercross, and then they do a selfie. Now, if the girl's down there, you take a picture with them? You put a comment. Oh, you add it. You add a comment. That's the only way you can do it. And then on the comment section, that's where you put your selfie. Okay. And then we will pick somebody. You guys will get. We're going to give out a ton of stuff to sell. Okay, but he's on a safety fight. You have to be a fan.
Oh my gosh, cool. We got like the neatest thing coming at you. Let's just talk real quick the next race so we make sure we get them on the line, and then let's talk about this contest.
Yeah, we just made that announcement that race number 11 needs to be working its way down towards the line. Pro-Am Runabout GP. White flag out for this one right here. White flag out for this one as Sam Nemi still running away with this one. Kelly Smith chasing him, and it's kind of a battle of attrition as the other two riders did not finish, Dawn.
All right, so here's the deal. If you're not racing today, okay, but you want to be a part of the race action and hang out with the Pro Watercross family, first off, I want to encourage you to do that. Secondly, I'm going to give you some free stuff opportunities to do that. So listen up. Here's what you need to do. You need to go to prowatercross.com on Facebook right now, and you need to like it. And then there's going to be this cute picture of these adorable girls up on the podium. And what I want you to do is I want you to make a mention of that, like just do some little mention, take a picture, a selfie, and we're going to start giving away some free stuff. And we're going to do it right off of that Facebook page. Again, prowatercross.com. It's pretty easy to find on Facebook. And then what you do is you look for the girls on the podium, do a comment, and then paste a picture, and then we're going to start giving away cool stuff. Mike Remar, what's going on the track?
Well, Sam Nemi just picked up the win in the Sport GP. So Sam out of Cooper City, Florida, making his sponsors proud. That's Broward Motorsports, Judge Motorsports, Exotic Signs, Shoei, Jet Pilot, Hamilton's, ISAW, Jet Lift, and Thrust Innovations. Hats off to Sam Nemi for picking up the win in Moto number 2. Kelly Smith going to wrap it up in second out of Ludington, Michigan, riding for Team Faith, Fly Racing, and WPS.
Man, I got to tell you, that's got to feel like some redemption. You know what I mean? Because he got docked on that, and I could tell the guys were upset about the false start, and that happens. I mean, nobody likes getting called on that regardless. But for him to be able to, look, you know what? I'm not going to let that stop me. He's just such a true professional. And, I don't care where I'm at or what I'm doing. I'm going to make this work for me. Turned it into a great win. Big shout out and congrats for Broward Motorsports.
Yeah, it was nice to see him bounce back after that false start, or whatever. We don't know exactly what's going on. Course marshals take care of that. We just call what we see. And, he bounced back, and by the matter of one lap later, he was out.
Follow along. I want you to go and like prowatercross.com on Facebook, okay? And then take a selfie, and then what you do is make a mention where the 3 girls are on the podium on that Facebook page. That way he can find you real easy. And you'll make a mention, put your picture, your selfie there, and we're going to start giving away T-shirts and all kinds of cool swag. I want you to be a part of this, and I want you guys to win some stuff.
There you have it, right out of Dawn's mouth. You can enter that contest, but the way you do it is you have to go to prowatercross.com first. You have to come on board as a friend of ours, and then you have to post your selfie. So you post your selfie right after you come on to prowatercross.com underneath of the gals that are already there, and then we're going to be giving away some swag later on.
Okay, so we're going to make this even more cool because I know you guys have been watching on the live stream, and we want to reward you for this. I'm actually going to grab one of the T-shirts or a hat, and we're also going to open it up for everybody online. So if you're online and you want to do a quick selfie, Rick said, hold on and we'll talk about it. We're going to do the start first. We'll be right back.
Back to that racing action because we're looking at Pro-Am Runabout GP. We got the 5 boat of Brian Baldwin, 21X of Cameron Frame, 21 of Trey Frame, 116 of Dustin Farthing, 149 of Tim Ducat, and 247 of Dylan Osborne. As they work their way to the split sections on the start, looks like it's going to be Dustin Farthing. Down the front straightaway, I do think that we had Dustin Farthing out in front, then followed by Brian Baldwin. We'll try to get that straight. So Dustin Farthing pulling the whole shot, Brian Baldwin on the number 5 boat in second, and Tim Ducat rounding out your top 3 on the 149 machine. These guys weren't messing around with getting that thing started. We took a quick break to talk about Pro Watercross and do the live stream, and this race went off.
Man, I got to just hands down give this big prop out to the tweaker, Brian Baldwin. He looked awesome yesterday, didn't he? I mean, this guy came for a war this weekend. And every time I see him, he is a multiple national champion, multiple world champion. As we saw his nephew yesterday, Oz, wicking it up in the junior class. Meanwhile, we have got all kinds of race action happening. Again, who was that whole shot?
Dustin Farthing out in front out of Ackworth, Georgia, run for Monster Energy, Sea-Doo, and Mountain Motorsports. Brian Baldwin there in second, and then Tim Ducat. You know, we've seen him have some great races already so far today, and now he's trying to play that spoiler as well.
And you've got the number 21 boat. That's Trey Frame. Oh, dear.
She just wanted some hat.
Oh, that's awesome.
So the pictures are starting to roll in already. Telling you folks, you want to go to prowatercross.com. If you're out here at the beach, go to prowatercross.com. Take a selfie of yourself and add it on as a friend of ours. And we're going to be giving away some free swag up here if you can come up and prove to us that you did that. Add yourself as a friend. What do you got, Don? We got a couple coming in already.
It's already working. I love this. Elizabeth Lizzie Neal. Elizabeth Lizzie Neal. Come to the announcer tower. If you don't know what that is, it's the big blue tower right down here on the beach. Elizabeth Lizzie Neal, I have something for you. Elizabeth Lizzie Neal, if you are in this area, I know you are because you just took a selfie for us. Come on down. I got something for you. That's how easy it is to win, Remar.
That's how easy it is to win, Dawn.
Back to you.
Back to the racing action. Farthing on the inside split. Lock, cock, ready to rock. He is just hammering out, stretching that lead out. Brian Baldwin out of Catawba, North Carolina, trying to close that gap, but I tell you what, Farthing is just on fire. He's nearly a whole straightaway ahead. And then Tim Ducat on the 149 boat, trying to close that gap. We love the people participating here. Laura Rue's in, and Elizabeth Lizzie Neely is in. So come on down, folks, and pick up your free swag for friending us on prowatercross.com and adding your selfie.
I'm telling you right now, AJ says, I like girls that like to get the whole shot and win a race. Those two ladies that you just announced, Elizabeth Neal, come on down, and Laura Rue, the two ladies that just did the selfies, come on down. Is that you? Oh, here, hold on, I'll come to you. Here I come.
How fun is that? Participating and having a good time.
I'll be back.
Now, is this your regular beach? Do you come hang out in Atlantic City quite a bit? You're from Germany. That's good. What I need you to do is write your friends in Germany right now, have them join prowatercross.com, and we'll go overseas international just like that. She's from Germany, AJ. That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, look at you. You're like the fastest Facebooker ever. All right, let's head right on down there to the cool truck. And I have stuff for you. How are you today?
I'm good, thanks.
Well, so, okay, tell me a little bit about yourself. You're from Germany, but you're in Atlantic City. How'd that happen?
I'm here for vacation.
Smart girl. Is this your first time in Atlantic City?
Yes.
How do you like it so far?
It's great. I love it.
Yeah, what's your favorite part?
Well, the races, I guess, but I'm looking...
Oh, look at you. I like the way she thinks, Remar.
Hey, Dawn, this just in from Rick. He gave me a reminder. Dawn, if she tags her friends, like right now, they can watch this live because it's live streaming. Tag a couple of friends real quick. Just tag them, and then we're going to have this be live.
He's so bossy, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
All right, I'm going to sneak her over here to Dane. And all the cool guys over here at Squatch. We've got Squatch beef jerky. I want to make sure that you have the opportunity to sample some of that. And what's great about it is you can take this right back in your backpack when you head back to Germany. Smart.
I'll do that.
I kind of thought you might. I've also got a little fanny pack here for you.
Great.
Of course, courtesy of Jack Links and Squatch, our awesome 2016 sponsor. Dane, thank you so much.
You guys are welcome. Thanks for having us.
And it is our pleasure for sure. And I want to get a selfie with you.
Okay.
Because you're cool. And I think we should make Dane do a selfie with us. What do you think?
Yeah, totally.
I totally agree. We're gonna put him to work. I'll put Shane in between us here. That's awesome. I like how Shane had actually tucked down. Not that we're vertically challenged, darn it. We're fun-sized, right?
Yeah, right.
Thank you again. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
You have an amazing weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet. All right, Mikey, back to you.
Well, the front of the pack moving up on the back of the pack is Farthing is continuing to stretch out this lead. We did have to have a rider be towed in. I'm trying to catch what number that was that had to be towed in. But Farthing's still out in front. Brian Baldwin still trying to chase him, and Tim Ducat was out there as well. One of the Frame brothers being towed in there. Is that 21X or 21? Is that Cameron or Trey? So front of the pack moving up on the back of the pack, like I said, Dustin Farthing flying through the outside split right now as he's really putting some space between him and Brian Baldwin. Farthing just on fire on that Sea-Doo, riding for Monster Energy Drink, Sea-Doo Mountain and Mountain Motorsports. So I do believe Farthing just lapped the third place rider. So the third place rider that I believe is Tim Ducat out of Bellevue, Florida, just got lapped. So Farthing has lapped the third place, all the way up to third place. Baldwin now down the front straightaway trying to do the same.
Hey, Remar, man, I got to tell you, what a small world this is. Laura Riva, actually, is how she says her last name, from Germany, is very good friends with Jesse Wildhaven, who, by the way, just won the European Freestyle Tour. They were over in Nice, Poland. That is her friend. This is a crazy small world. I want to do a shout out to Jessie, and let's tell her congratulations. She did so awesome.
Yeah, you're awesome, Jesse. You rock.
That is so cool. Thanks again, by the way, for joining the family at Pro Watercross. And I hear you're going to start competing. I want to see you over here.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll try.
There is no try, as Yoda says. There is do or not do.
Okay, yeah, then I'll do it.
Okay, deal. All right, we'll see you out here in competition. Remar, back to you, buddy.
All right, well, we just want to let you know that you are currently watching the Pro-Am Runabout GP class, which is race number 11. That means we need to have race number 12 down online. Pro-Am Ski GP. Pro-Am Ski GP should be working its way down towards the line. Back to the racing action here, though. It has been a war of attrition as we've lost a few boats. We are down to 3 machines left in this race, and it is Dustin Farthing on the 116 boat way out in front. Brian Baldwin trying to close that gap in second, and then Tim Ducat on the 149 boat currently running third. Farthing has lapped up to third. So the racing action breaks down like this as we are prepping for the next race, which is going to be Pro-Am Ski GP. They're going to be on one-person stand-up watercraft with GP motors in them. So that means that they really don't have any CC restrictions or horsepower restrictions. Whatever they can squeeze into that hull and run it, they will. And these guys are just sick fast, and you're going to see them catching some air off of these waves and doing some solid slicing and dicing through the right side chicane as Dustin Farthing down the front straightaway, still your leader.
Wow, what a tough break. Looks like Ducat over here floating, trying to get his boat back up running. What a tough break for Ducat, who we had just been bragging up. Great racer, had been doing awesome thus far this week in Atlantic City. Right now, he is dealing with some trouble, though, and that is, as you had said, this attrition is a huge deal in a GP class.
Well, you know, these are some big boats, and they got some big motors, and so, you know, these guys are just absolutely flying down the front straightaway, and that's a long time. This is a long race for that kind of horsepower to go the distance, and it looks like some of the motors maybe didn't hold up today. And we're down to 2 riders left in this race, where it is Dustin Farthing out in front, being chased by Brian Baldwin.
Well, talking about the Magic 2, we're also down to about 2 minutes left in this moto, and you've got 2 riders out there, and it looks like Dustin Farthing being one of them, as that Baldwin is our second rider. So only 2 riders out of this lineup, man. And I'm going to say, if you think this is unusual, Remar, this is not. You and I both have seen it where it's come down to 1 or 2 riders when we had a full gate. But this GP class, man, they ride them right on the edge of the envelope. And you can see why they need those top end speeds. These are the fastest boats on the globe. These things will clock out easily over 90 miles an hour. So probably won't see quite those high top speeds today, although it's pretty good conditions for it.
Well, I'm looking forward to, you know, this race coming to a conclusion here, and we move into the next class as well, which is going to be Pro-Am Ski GP, and then we're going to go into Freestyle. And I see, Dawn, that you've got some swag up here. We're going to be giving away some stuff later on.
I am, if you're going to like me on Facebook, and by me, I mean prowatercross.com. So go to prowatercross.com and do what we had talked about, just like Laura Riva did. So what you want to do is go to there, and then you will like the prowatercross.com page, take a selfie, and then put it right in that comments where the girls are on the podium. And you too could be winning all kinds of cool stuff. I've got t-shirts, I've got hats, I've got fanny packs from Squatch. So there you go. I got cool stuff. Plus we could get, I'll take a selfie with you because I want to, because it's awesome. Need Ski GP up next, please. Ski GP to the line.
We've got the white flag going to come out right now for Dustin Farthing as he's running away with this Pro-Am Runabout GP class. Once again, Dustin out of Ackworth, Georgia, run for Monster Energy, Sea-Doo, and Mountain Motorsports. White flag out, so that means just 1 lap to go for Dustin. Brian Baldwin trying to close that gap. He's been hard charging the whole time. And, you know, that gap is pretty much just maintained for the last 3 or 4 laps in a row, as Brian riding as fast as Dustin, but Dustin had that huge lead.
Well, and unfortunately, you're in that spot where at this point for the tweaker, you almost got to hope for a little destiny to step in and help you out, but not working out for him. But I tell you what is working out. What? No way. Did Brian Baldwin just go down on the final lap? Actually, Libby pulled a lanyard over there on the right-hand side of the track.
Yeah, I don't know. He's back up and running well now. I thought maybe he pulled the lanyard too or had a motor issue, but hopefully just a lanyard. And Dustin Farthing coasting through the outside split section as he doesn't want to burn up his boat either. Down the front straightaway, taking the checkered flag. Ladies and gentlemen, could you kindly put your hands together for Dustin Farthing, winner of Moto 2 Pro-Am Runabout GP. Brian Baldwin going to wrap it up in second as he's doing well for his sponsors too out of Catawba, North Carolina. We need to have the next race of the day down on line, Pro-Am Ski GP.
All this great action brought to you by Shark Energy Drink. Also special thanks to Hidden Trails Motorsports and Sea-Doo. Couldn't do it without these great sponsors.
Well, our ski riders starting to get ready to ride here as you're looking at Pro-Am Ski GP. Down on line for this one out of Yakima, Washington, riding for Commander, RM Fly, Blowsion, and Villian. It's going to be 3, David Redinger. On the Commander boat out of Lake Liberty, Washington, on 24, Derek Helm. Out of Naples, Florida, riding for Monster Energy, Mac Racing, Broward Motorsports, Jet Trim, Jet Pilot, Jet Lift, ADA, and Liquid Militia, Chris McCluggage on the 30 machine. Out of Miramar, Florida, riding out of the Broward Motorsports, Team Mean Racing, Wet Sport Racing, Exotic Signs, Hamilton holds 51, David Cabrera. Out of West Harrison, Indiana, riding on the factory Yamaha ETS Racing Fuel Jet Renew 94, Josh Block. In Apex, North Carolina, the home of 106, Bill Haig, riding on his Hurricane Performance Amsoil powered machines. Out of Sanford, North Carolina, on Judge Motorsports, Jam Racing, and Hidden Trails Motorsports 300, Jimmy Wilson. Out of Spring Grove, PA, riding on the Full Spectrum, IPD Graphics, Riva, Fly, and Jet Pilot Machine 812, Mike Kerbler. And rounding out your field, out of Doylestown, PA, running the Jet Tribe Fly 88 Full Spectrum Machine 912, Rick Shirker.
Well, you know what? I was sitting there just looking at all the points as we're coming into this round number 5, Remar, and I got to say there was kind of this glaring thing happening with me yesterday. As I'm looking at the points, it's Tyron Matzuris after round number 4 with the lead at 200 points, and it's Dustin Matzuris with 199 points in second place. But I seem to have a problem here. I don't have either of the Matzurises in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I do have David Redinger, but I thought, you know what, I'm just going to call Dustin Matzuris and see what's up. Dustin, how you doing, bud?
All good. Thank you, Dawn.
Man, it is unfortunate that we didn't get to see you this weekend. Unfortunately, you couldn't come and hang out with us. What's up?
Yeah, to be honest with you, we've just been super slammed, obviously, with the new K1R getting released and obviously the success of the normal K1 that we've been racing the last few years. We've just been really busy, and basically we ended up having to make a bit of a business decision before this event, and just made the call to just try and make sure that we delivered on all of our promises for our customers, which is a major thing. And we just decided to try and catch up and get all these boat builds out and get more races on the line, and obviously that is our focus. And luckily being really busy. So we really wanted to be there. We obviously were committed and are committed to the Pro Watercross Tour, and you definitely will see us at the next 2 races. But looking at the points going into this event, I was trailing Tyron by 1 point, and we just pretty much made the decision, that we felt that we could still put in a strong 2 events at these last 2 races, and try and make up the points we're going to lose this weekend. And but for us at the same time, we got Chris McCluggage and David Redinger and Derek Helm out there. So we have such a good representation with our skis. And just made the call to rather focus, get some new models and new race boats out there for people that head on water and, just try and grow the sport and get more people to the races.
Well, I tell you what, your timing is perfect, Dustin, because just as you wish Chris McCluggage and David Redinger good luck, we just dropped the flag and McCluggage popped about 20 feet in the air. We're going to kick it off with Pro Ski GP. We miss you, buddy. We'll see you at the next round.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Love you bunches, Dustin, and big hugs for Tyron, too.
Well, did you see that air? That whole shot took off. McCluggage was on the inside as he was the winner of yesterday's moto, so he had the pole position. And he got big air. That might have cost him as he was that high in the air while the other boats were in the water hooking up and going a little bit faster. We'll see what happens as they come down the front straightaway.
Wilson.
Looks like David Redinger and then Wilson, and then is it McCluggage back there in third?
Yes. Yeah, it's Chris McCluggage in third.
David Redinger, I think, pulled the whole shot. And I do believe that Jimmy Wilson was in second as they came down the front straightaway. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dawn.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And then it's going to be Shirker in fourth and Josh Block in fifth. Derek Helm in sixth.
So McCluggage on that hole shot, my gosh, the wave came in and it broke just right. He jumped off the line and the wave was a little bigger on the left maybe than it was on the right. And McCluggage shot, you're right, 20 feet high in the air.
That was, I wish I had a camera on that. That was spectacular on the start. Let me just do a quick recap, though, so you guys can get a sense of where we are with the numbers. Even though Tyron and Dustin are not here, David Redinger is currently in third with 165 points. And let me tell you, Remar, he's positioned perfectly to rack up some more points, but he is your first on the podium at the moment that's on this location. But the Mac attack coming from that outside split, and oh my gosh, very rarely do you see him get taken out by Surf.
Well, you got that Surf coming in. Mac attack, yep, got to pull the shorts back up. That was a full moon right there, Don. And Mac going to have to pull the shorts back up, get them tied, get them ready to go. He was in third, battling down that front straightaway, looking to make the move on Jimmy Wilson, and that cost him a number of valuable positions.
Yeah, but I tell you what, this is a long race, and let's face it, we're talking about the Mac attack. He's got a lot of time and a lot of acreage that he can make up. So let's see what happens, but what does make this interesting, certainly going to be fun for us to watch, but now it's heating up between Redinger and Jimmy Wilson. And look at Wilson going to the outside. Redinger going to pick up the inside. This young gun sponsored by Commander Industries. He comes from a legacy of racing. His father has been racing for years. Kevin Redinger, a big force on the West Coast. And look at the switch on the lead. Jimmy Wilson moving into number one out of that outside split.
Well, you're right. Redinger ran that inside split section. Jimmy Wilson ran that outside, carried momentum. They swapped over and crossed lines down the front straightaway. We're seeing a lot of that today in the racing action. And now Jimmy Wilson, your current leader out of Sanford, North Carolina, riding for the Judge Motorsports Jam Racing Hidden Trails Motorsports IDP Graphics race team.
And we will keep you notified on where McCluggage is. But when he got up, it looked to me like he was in seventh.
Yeah, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think he's in sixth now. So he's picked off one spot since that downfall. But yeah, he ate it on the front straightaway, lost his drawers. That does happen in this sport. We've seen it time and time again. I think I've been a victim, in fact, myself. Look, and he's bounced back, though. I'm betting that McCluggage is not going to stay in sixth. I'm just betting that. I bet he's going to move up a few.
I'm not going to bet against you on that. I sense a sucker bet when I hear one. All right, so Jimmy Wilson, your new leader as you're watching the Pro Ski GP. And it's going to be Redinger in second. It is Rick Shirker, the Shirk Attack, in third. It's going to be Derek Helm on boat number 24 in fourth. And he already is up in fifth, Chris McCluggage.
Yeah, McCluggage there, and then I was looking for Cabrera. Cabrera's back over here on the left side, so back in that seventh position is David Cabrera, not getting a great hole shot.
And McCluggage already trying to set up Derek Helm on that right-hand side, and he pulls it off. He's in fourth.
Well, the race heats up on that back straightaway as they approach the split section right now. Your leader, Jimmy Wilson, going to take that outside split. Let's see what David Redinger does. Redinger going to go to the inside.
Hey, I want to say a special thanks, by the way, to the city of Atlantic City, New Jersey, also to Resort Casino Hotel and Casino. Man, that is bar none, a gorgeous hotel. Definitely want to put that on your bucket list to come hang out in Atlantic City. And also a huge shout out for Steel Pier. It's thanks to all of these guys that we're able to come out and hang out with you and bring you this great race action. Back to you as that surf starts to set up right in front of the buoys on the right-hand side.
It does. We're looking at the surf coming through on the right-hand side here. And they're working through the right side chicane, working towards that back straightaway. Once again, Jimmy Wilson still trying to hold off David Redinger after having made that pass.
And I do want to remind you guys, right after Freestyle, we're going to be doing the Amateur Awards. Okay. Oh, we got to shade down here. That's perfecto. We're going to be doing the Amateur Awards right down here at the announcer tower at the podium. So Amateur Awards, you guys get ready. That's going to come at you right after Freestyle. Meanwhile, back at the race action, you are watching Pro Ski GP on the line, and I've got to be guessing that Dustin Matsuris, probably Tyrant too, listening in on the stream, cheering on their riding buddies, David Redinger and, of course, Derek Helm.
Well, and they come off that split section. That time, all the riders went to the outside split. So down the front straightaway with the courtesy flags, it's Jimmy Wilson being hounded by Redinger, and then
McCluggage coming in on Rick Shirker.
Yeah, he just made the pass. So now McCluggage is in third as he made the pass on Shirker. So it goes Wilson, Redinger, McCluggage, Shirker, rounding out your top four.
Man, I tell you what, that guy is moving faster than FedEx on an early morning delivery run. This guy is hauling. Chris McCluggage, 20 world titles. A gentleman that could definitely put clinics on how to ride in the surf. Putting on a clinic right now.
Looking at him going at it on the outside split. It was McCluggage. I do believe he made the pass on Redinger, and I think McCluggage is in second now as they come off the outside split section.
I think you're right, sir. All right, so again, gentlemen that we had talked about that had to actually stop for a wardrobe check on the front stretch. Already back up in second place, gentleman on boat number 30, who, by the way, switched over to a K1 hull this year and certainly seems to be digging it.
Yeah, I tell you what, McCluggage was all the way back in seventh after that spill, has battled his way back into second, and now sets his sights on Jimmy Wilson.
And I would say one of the few riders, and I mean, there's a lot of talented riders out there, but Mac Attack is a force of nature for sure on the surf. And one of the few riders I know that could hold him off is the guy that is currently in the lead, that's Jimmy Wilson. And also, you got to factor in, I know Chris has been training incredibly hard, and so has Jimmy, but, you know, we've got some laps underneath us now. I guess the big question is, has Mac still got enough in the tank to pursue, run down, and pass Jimmy Wilson? You're watching that action right here on the Pro Watercross National Tour.
Well, the front of the pack going to be sneaking up on the back of the pack real soon as the back at the end of the front straightaway, and here comes your leaders, and here comes McCluggage. He's got his sight sets on Wilson. Wilson's got it pinned down the front straightaway, so does Mac Attack. And here he comes. He's closing fast.
Yeah, I love how this kid rides. He's incredibly busy in his normal time. He's a firefighter. He's also a new dad. He's got a great wife. His family always comes out and hangs out with him. Jimmy Wilson, boat number 300. He has been just such a great racer. And the cool thing about Jimmy is I've yet to see him peak out. Every single year, it just feels to me like this kid's getting faster, and he's getting smarter on the racetrack. I love to watch him race, and I think this battle that's setting up is going to be really cool.
Well, he's only 27 years old, and I was thinking back to it. I remember when he came out as a junior and then a very, very solid adult rider after coming out of the juniors. And it's just awesome to see where he's at now in his pro career. And there they come off the outside split section. Lap traffic going to be a factor here. Jimmy Wilson coming up on a lapper. McCluggage right there closing on that lapper as well.
Both riders, by the way, coming out of the outside split. Watch your front stretch as they work their way through these two lap riders ahead of them. You see that blue and yellow flag, by the way. That indicates to the racers that they've got a lap rider. And it looked like McCluggage went down ever so briefly, sort of in the same area. Oh, man, what happened, Remar?
I don't want to be the kiss of death, but I think that as McCluggage came into this down front straightaway, he went to head into the right side chicane, that tight red. It looked like the nose dipped and came inside instead of going around the outside of that buoy. We'll see if he knows he did it, because he's going to have to go pick up that equalizer buoy. We'll find out right now.
All right, so again, we used to have it where you just circle back. Sure enough, he knew he missed it. Smart rider that he is, he has time. If you make it up on the same lap, you just go to that big white penalty buoy, and you can tell it extends time. So it's actually going to cost him a little bit, but better that than being down a lap.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, we looked at it, and it almost looked like an optical illusion as McCluggage's boat dipped inside that red buoy, but he knew it. He's an honest guy. He wasn't going to argue. He went right out and picked up the buoy on the same lap that he did it on.
Well, and I tell you what, that's what Jimmy Wilson needed because he wanted a little bit of a breather. We still got a good 3 minutes left, I think, in this race, close to, oh, I lied. We have 1.5 minutes left in this race. So it's 12 minutes plus a lap, depending on how they come across on the time. But 12 minutes plus a lap is what you're looking at. So not too much time left, and that's good news for Jimmy, but it's a little bit of catch-up for the Mac Attack. See what happens.
Well, we look at what's unfolding here on the back straightaway is I do believe Jimmy Wilson, you're right, he did get some breathing room there, and he needed it because McCluggage was all over him. Maybe McCluggage tried a little too hard to make up a lot of space or a lot of time on that last buoy.
Oh yeah, he's notorious for it. I mean, that's one of the things that he's just such a specialist in
right back
surf.
in second. Here comes Jimmy Wilson down the front straightaway, and here comes McCluggage. So he went all the way out, picked up that equalizer buoy, and came back, and here he comes right back where he was.
And he looks like he's about, what, 10 seconds off the pace, maybe 15 seconds off the pace. Now, again, the white flag did not come out on this lap. I got to be thinking it's going to come out on the next one because we've been counting down on the time here. So we got a lap and change as this white flag is going to come up next. And man, what a view we've got. Atlantic City, New Jersey. We've got a ton of sailboats out right on the horizon. We've had partly cloudy skies, a little bit higher humidity today than we had yesterday. But to counter that, we've got much smoother conditions out on the water. And that has really, I think, turned into some higher speeds you've been watching on this closed course racing.
Yeah, these guys are flying. This is Moto 2 of a 3-moto program here. And so this means quite a bit to Jimmy Wilson and McCluggage here as they are going at it. I think you're right, Don. I think that white flag's going to come out, and yes, it does. White flag out, 1 lap to go as your leaders down the front straightaway. Jimmy Wilson at the red buoy right now, and then Chris McCluggage right there, and McCluggage is all over him.
Okay, now a bit of strategy happened on that lap. You watched Jimmy Wilson go to the inside split, Chris McCluggage going to the outside, working the lap traffic. But what I found to be interesting was that Chris McCluggage, even with that, gained time. Look at the pressure that he is putting on Jimmy Wilson. I didn't actually expect to see that fast.
Well, I didn't either, and here they come down the back straightaway. Wilson trying to hold off McCluggage. This is it. This is the last half lap to go right here. Lapped rider in the way as Wilson goes to the inside. McCluggage goes to the outside. He's going to follow the lapper.
And I tell you what else is interesting. 1 second, 51 hundredths of a second separate these two riders. Watch the splits.
Here we go. Down the front straightaway. Jimmy Wilson. McCluggage. Jimmy Wilson. Jimmy Wilson going to hold McCluggage off right to the wire. Unbelievable racing. That's what I'm talking about. You got to be checking this stuff out. prowatercross.com. Like us on Facebook. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on YouTube and on your FM dial 91.5. That's racing, baby. Don Dawson, you going mobile?
Yeah, I'm going to go try to round up Jimmy Wilson and Chris McCluggage for a quick interview. That was off the charts. One of the funnest races we had the opportunity to watch this morning. By the way, you guys, get your cameras ready. We're going to be going to freestyle next. We got some awesome freestyle competitors to bring to you today. And we've also got the amateur awards coming at you right after freestyle. All that action right here on the beach at Atlantic City, New Jersey. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am Don Dawson. Up in the Tower of Power is Mike Remar, and I'm going to go try to round up these guys and do an interview.
Now, Don Dawson, just to let you know, we also need our freestyle judges. I know you were incredible at that yesterday. Yes, come on up. Good man. Don Dawson, if you run into Bill Craig while you're out there, too, we could use him as a freestyle judge. That would be awesome.
By the way, check. I need to have all my freestylers head down. Freestylers, if I could have you guys head down.
So Dawn Dawson going mobile. She's trying to get down there to get Jimmy Wilson and maybe even Mac with an interview. We are prepping for freestyle right now, so I need my freestyle judges to report to duty. Yes, the Brain Trust is back in session. So we're going to have the Brain Trust up here for freestyle. And we're going to get our freestyle boats down to the water's edge. Looks like we should have Luke Stocks, Gordon Waniak, and Justin Sylvain down there. Is Gordon going to ride today or no?
Hey, this is Dane with Sasquatch, Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Hanging out, having a good time in Atlantic City, handing out some free Squatch sticks to all the passerbys. Stop by and get some free stuff, and thank you for watching American Pro Watercross.
As you turn back into the surf, I saw Chris McCluggage trying to duck underneath your shoulder, and then suddenly hits, look at you giggling, and then suddenly had some issues with the surf. Break that one down for me.
Yeah. Hi, Patty from Union, New Jersey, supporting Gorgeous, number 88. Thanks for watching Pro Watercross.
Eric Gabriel here from Allington, Michigan. I'm racing sport stock. Thanks for watching Pro Watercross.
Definitely over before that happened. So it's definitely fun though, you know, knowing that Mac's not going to just take you out, but he's going to rub rails, and you know, I've learned, I'm old enough now, I'm going to rub back, and hopefully we go home. That's what makes it so much fun to watch you. Is it's like as you've matured and you become even faster and faster, you're just not afraid to make those risk moves. Well, I'm afraid, don't get me wrong, but but you know, I mean, it's going to happen to me, so it's going to happen back. Nothing mean, you know, I'm learning a lot from Mac, and he's done it to me enough times, I kind of expect what's coming.
Hi, I'm Dawson Newby. I'm 18 years old from Eaton, Colorado. I ride for Team Faith, Fly Racing, Jet Lift. Thanks for watching Pro Watercross. All these guys, you know, so it's cool to be out here. You know, yeah, Mac was probably maybe a little bit faster back in his day, but he's definitely not slow now. So to be able to compete with him out here, especially in the surf where he proves that he's best normally, you know, it's a pretty cool feeling. It's got to be, I mean, this is somebody that was actually one of your heroes growing up in a lot of ways, right? It's got to be pretty cool to be on the track with him. Yeah, it really is. You know, honestly, the coolest thing for me now that I'm here is working with Tim Judge Motorsports. You know, I really looked up to him, and I still look up to him. You know, he's a health freak still. You know, even though he's not racing, he's still in way better shape than I'll ever be. You know, so he's teaching me a lot on and off the course, and you know, he's building me the best boat that we can have, and I think one of the best in the world. Hopefully we can prove it this year. Jimmy Wilson, you are always a pleasure to watch on the track. It's great to have you be a part of the National Tour. Congratulations on your second moto win. Thank you, guys, and I really got to thank the Frame family. You know, Hidden Trails Motorsports, you know, not only kind of makes this event possible and all the other ones, but you know, they're awesome to me personally, my family. You know, they put us under the tent. You know, we did a kind of a cheap, quick trip over here unexpectedly, so just came on an outside trailer, and they're letting us store skis in their rig all night so nothing gets stolen or happens to it, and you know, letting us use the quad, helping us every way we can, helping us with holds. You know, really got to thank these guys a lot. Is it just me, or every time I talk to you, it seems like you're getting taller? You're standing on the downhill side of the beach. Brat. Big hugs for you. All right, back up to you, and it looks like you have the Mac Attack in the house.
Yeah, Don, guess who I have up here in the Tower of Power? I have none other than Chris McCluggage, the Mac Attack. Now, that was probably some of the best racing we've seen this weekend. And can you walk us through a little bit? Because you came down that front straightaway. It looked like you had a ward rail misfunction, and then kind of guide us through the race from that point on.
I think you could change it to the Crack Attack. But anyways, no, it was a fun. I mean, for me, going out there and just trying to make a good show is what's important. You know, right now, Chimmy's got a moto win, I have a moto win, so it's back to zero for both of us. It's going to be a good battle, the last one. I saw that wave coming in off the start, and back in the day, I used to be able to launch 20 feet and still win the race, but today I didn't. But, you know, I had a great time doing it, and I need to put my wetsuit up now next time.
Yeah, well, we're going live right now, so what I want to do is let you know, Chris, we're going to go live, so folks are checking this out there on prowatercross.com on the Facebook section. So this is live. Can you kind of just rehash what you just said, because we are live now?
It was a great start, but you know, for me, when I get in the surf, I lose focus on what I'm out here to do, and that's when I just hit that wave, and you know, it's all about having fun out there, and it was fun. It definitely made the race a lot more exciting for me and probably for the spectators, rather than someone just hole-shotting and pulling away and leaving. You know, I mean, I was able to battle back quite a few times after missing a buoy, after falling off, pulling my wetsuit back up, and you know, launching 20 foot in the air. It was just about having fun out there.
Well, from a spectator point of view, I mean, right away from the initial start, you pulled a killer hole shot, caught the very face of that wave. Don and I were estimating that you were some 20 feet high, came down with a rough landing, and still came out with a pretty good shot. I think you were third down the front straightaway.
Yeah, I probably could have hole shot of that race. I mean, it was first out of the gate. The Monster Energy, Broward Motorsports, Mac Racing, Commander K1 just ripped off the line, and But you know, like I said, I saw that wave and I wanted to hit it. I should have just pre-jumped it and kept the focus. But you know, probably jumping that wave, falling off, made me ride a lot harder that race and push the boat and just show how good it was on that water. I mean, I was able to pass a lot of people on the straightaways and just out horsepower them down the straight. And you know, Jimmy was riding really well. I caught up to him like 3 times probably, and then made 3 mistakes. But yeah, it was a fun time. You know, my hat's off to him. He's a great rider, and he got this one. But it's going to be a good battle in the finals.
Well, that's what we think, too. And at one point in time, Don and I had you in 7th place after you got discombobulated, got all your stuff back together, and then little by little, inching your way back through the pack to get up into that 2nd spot. And like you said, 3 different times you made a run at Jimmy, and he was able to hold you off. That missed buoy and the ability for you to pick up that equalizer, I mean, you go right back in the hunt.
Yeah, like I said, the boat was flying. I made a few mistakes, but it's really a new boat that I'm on, the K1, and it's working really well. We got a little bit of, you know, the first couple rounds, we had a couple things to straighten out in it. But it's working good now, and I'm just happy to be on it and happy to be out here in Atlantic City, actually, New Jersey. I was born, and it's cool to be back here racing. I haven't raced here in about 20-some-odd years.
Wow, and I'll tell you what, McCluggage picking up the Moto 1 win yesterday, Jimmy Wilson picking up the Moto 2 win, and I'm looking forward to see what's going to go down in Moto 3. Any predictions, Mac?
No. You know, maybe I'll act a little mature this race.
There you have it, folks. Thanks, Mac, for coming on up. That's a great interview. I love it. Don, I think we're going to some freestyle now, right? Hey, Don, as we prep for freestyle, Gordon Waniek's up here in the Tower of Power with me. He was out practicing, and in warm-up, his machine went down. He said that he's down and that he's out, but he'd like to give props to the folks that helped him this weekend. Gordon, who are those folks?
Well, good afternoon, Atlantic City. Really wanted to put on a show. Came a long way to get here. Didn't work out. Really like to thank Chuck Belmucci from CPT Enterprises nearby here in Bordentown, New Jersey. He went above and beyond trying to get me on the water. And then the rest of my team from Adrenaline Racing, Dan Dvoki, Rick D'Italio, and Jeff Dykowski. Go, Jeff, for the rest of the day. Appreciate all your help this weekend. Thanks, everybody.
There you go. Hats off to all the folks helping Gordon Waniek. It's no good that he's going to be out of the competition with a broken boat, and I don't see Luke Stocks down there as well. So I think we're probably only going to have one competitor today in freestyle. Does anybody know if Luke Stocks is here? I think he went home too. So what that means is that by default, we are going to have Justin Sylvain win the freestyle. But you know what? That kid's a competitor. He wants to put in a show. He wants to get this crowd excited. And so that's what we're going to do. Justin, just so you know, we lost the other competitor. It's just going to be you. So it's all about your own freestyle show today. All about you whenever you're ready to put on this show.
Oh, wow. We don't even know. Wow. We're gonna even let Dan Costello take a break. We're not gonna make him work overtime.
The Brain Trust.
You know, before we let you go, because you know it's not like you don't work enough. Dan, you get called on a lot to come out to these tour races for multiple reasons. But you know, we talk about the riders a lot, but the reality is the holders and the mechanics equal, if not more important, role played in who is going to take home a tour championship and who isn't. Talk a little bit about what it's like to be behind the scenes.
It's just one of those things where, you know, these people, everybody that I'm helping out now is what got me into the sport. Now that I'm out of it, it's my way of getting back into it again.
So it wasn't hard work at all. I just like hanging out.
Pretty much. It's a vacation.
Oh my gosh. All right. The shortest interview on the planet, but by one of the coolest people on the planet, Dan Costello. Remar, back to you, bud.
All righty then, folks. What we're going to do is some freestyle here. We're going to do some big air. We're going to see trick after trick after trick. Justin Sylvain is down there. He's going to do this show. He's out of Lake Orion, Michigan, riding for HydroTurf. Jet Pilot, X-Scream, Sport Pro, and Sportsman Promotions. This kid just graduated from high school. He's 18, maybe heading into being 19 years old. He's an incredible athlete. Justin, this show is all about you. Entertain us here in the AC.
So 19 years of awesome is what you're about to watch on the water here. And a little background on the guy. I think that Remarsh probably shared some of this, but he's a recent, just graduated high school, right? Decided, hey, I want to come out and play in freestyle. Next thing you know, he wins amateur freestyle, the first tour round. He got a little excited about that, and who wouldn't? And decided, I want to do the whole national tour, and that's why we have the fortune of seeing this young man right here in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
He's waving at the crowd. He wants to spice this thing up. Come on, folks. Who wants to see some freestyle? Oh, come on, Atlantic City. We can do better than that. Who wants to see some freestyle? I heard all this stuff about people from South Jersey being loud, and I'm not getting it, Don. What's going on here?
I don't know, bud. I think you're not pushing them enough. I think maybe if you offered some free squatch from Jack Links as an incentive.
Free squatch would be incentive, but you know what? These guys are going to get excited once they see him pull off his first stunt. Watch this kid. He's got a mad set of skills.
All right, well, now, if you're wondering what's going on, he's actually out there kind of looking where he wants to set up the perfect wave. Typically opens up with a pretty cool combination trick. Let's see if he does it again. And didn't really like that. Said, I really want to hear the crowd interaction, too, because obviously he gets into it. I love how these rollers are coming. Problem is, the way they're coming is pretty steep and pretty narrow in between these two sets. Let's see if he likes that. Oh, my goodness. Humongous altitude on a backflip, and let's make that a one-footer. Nice, nice. Now, you notice he locks into those foot trays, that custom footholds. Nice off-camber 360. Call it off-camber, if you want to call it an off-camber helicopter too. Usually we call the helicopter kind of the flat 360. Nice, looked like almost a surf move like the IFWA guys pulled off. Beautiful combination. 4 backflips in a row. Quick little pop-flop 180. Setting up for another one, and he is digging these waves today. Love the off-camber 360 again. Watching Justin Sylvain, and this is freestyle. And a great opportunity for you guys to get these cameras out and get some cool pictures.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this kid just loves to perform. He wants to hear the crowd. If you like what you see, get loud, because the louder you get, the crazier he will get. This kid's got some mad skills. He can freestyle like no other. You see him digging his feet in there. That means he's going to go invert.
Can flip. Nicely done. One-footer, one-hander back can flip. And I tell you what, Justin Sylvain is so much fun. By the way, this kid just started 540. Boom, into a backflip. Let's make that a 2-for-1 or a 3-for-1. 4, 5, count along with me. 6, 7, 8, 9. Working his way back into the beach. 10 backflips in a row in the surf.
10 flips. I've never seen that. And like you said, it's in the surf. So he's got to calculate for the waves coming in, too. That's a lot of horsepower under the hood of that machine.
Yeah, it certainly is. Let's talk a little bit about that. He's actually what I would consider underpowered, right? So they're running about 1,000 cc. You're allowed to go up to 1,200 once they go into the pro class. But they're in a 9. It's really 900, 1,000 is what they're looking at for the amateur freestyle. So if you can imagine, it is even harder to do these flips when you've got a little bit less horsepower, but he's certainly making this look way too easy. Nice little setup wake. Wow. Off 420, actually, into a backflip. Rides it out. Little reminiscent of the Hollywood corkscrew made famous by Scott Watkins. Nicely done. Yeah, he loves that crowd interaction. This young man's so in love with freestyle, and I tell you, we've really been very blessed to have him join us on the national tour. I love how he did that very slow. He actually slow-moed that pirouette off of that wave. That's actually just as hard as it is to run into it with a whole ton of momentum, right? Slow it down. Going for a one-hander 360 into a backflip. 3. Righty, did you notice how he worked to the face of the wave, Remar, and he never moved out of that position? That actually upped the difficulty for that combination. Now, when we're judging, we're looking for a number of things. Wow, beautiful look back, and he made that a gorgeous helicopter. Things that we're looking for: difficulty, variety of tricks, number of tricks, how they execute the tricks. Nice. Did a little hoodie kick on that backflip that goes for another 3. They are also looking for flow. And what I mean by flow is it's got to feel like, you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it, right? You can tell it's effortless. That flow, that showmanship. Look at this huge billboard out here. We should have Justin Sylvain's picture on that.
We should. I'll tell you what, that's a pretty good idea. I think that putting a sign on a boat like that versus flying up in the sky, I don't know, you get maybe more views. Here in Atlantic City, this is just an awesome beach. What a great venue. Justin Sylvain going off. Going to do an invert with a rotation there and then a twist as well with a backflip.
Yep, started that with a 540. Fantastic rotation. They typically go for 2 minutes. He's just giving you guys all kinds of gratuitous time. We're already moving into big 5 minutes. Wow, that is a good 10 feet in the air. Nice 360, flat 360. And don't forget, we've got amateur awards right after freestyle. Thank you, Kevin. We're going to have that right down here at the tower. Again, amateur awards right after this. And Justice said, you know what, I'm not quite done.
Well, you know, Don, they have very small gas tanks on these machines because there's so much involved in a freestyle, and they try to limit the weight of the machine, so they only have about 1.8 to 2 gallon gas tanks in them. So I just wonder how much gas he's got and how much longer he can keep riding.
Well, like I said, it's typically a 2-minute nice the way he worked the face of that.
Big backflip off the face of that wave. He went big. He was up there 20 feet. And you know, the thing about freestylers is they're a little bit different. Stitches, yeah. Bones broken, yeah.
Yeah, they really like pushing the envelope. I would typically call these guys the rogues, you know? Like they're counterculture all the way. They're a lot of fun. They love to be showmen. Not really into competition so much, but they love to show off. Multiple little combo there on the flats 360s. Great job for this young man. Now, again, just so you know, he's already way over their normal time. He's probably working about 4.5 minutes on this. And as Remar talked about, they lighten these boats up as much as they can. You're looking at, for a freshwater or a flat water boat, about 90 pounds is really what they want to be on their weight, about 90 pounds. These boats are custom built from the ground up, by the way. Everything. Handle poles, custom done for them. Where they put the footholds is custom done typically for them. Wow, nice kick. Little back kick, 360, goes into another series of backflips. Fantastic camera moment here. Into another backflip. How you guys liking it so far, Atlantic City? I like it.
Just a reminder, too, to the amateurs, we are doing the amateur awards right after freestyle behind the Tower of Power here. So you're going to want to check that out, fans. If you want to come over and cheer for some of your favorite amateurs that raced yesterday and this morning, you are more than welcome to come attend the amateur awards ceremony.
And just as I said, that's about it for him, actually. He is going to bring it in. He just wanted to kind of watch for the right surf to bring it in for his family, and they're going to put it up. As he comes, well, I said that, and then he's like, wait, this looks cool. See what I mean? They would be out there all day. Again, amateur awards are going to be coming at us next. Do we have all the awards?
All right, we need to get the amateurs over here for the awards ceremony. I know we said it's after freestyle, but you got to start working your way this way. Amateur awards ceremony going to take place in about 2 minutes over here behind the Tower of Power. So come on over, bring your chairs. Let's do this. Let's give credit where credit is due. Let's give credit where...
Grab and go with Jet Renew Essential Packs. Our packs are universal for all your watercraft and motorsports needs. Contains purple wash and wax, pink plus, and protector.
Yeah, here we are at Jet Renew right here at the World Finals. What's up, dog? What's up? Surf Rat in the house, yeah. Get your Jet Renew while it's hot.
Made in America, Jet Renew products. We are the leaders in the marine and motorsports industry. Get yours today at jetrenew.com.
Are you ready, Atlantic City, New Jersey? The Hidden Trail Sea-Doo Pro Watercross National Tour presented by Jetlift invades the North Atlantic Ocean at Steel Pier for the Moto Surf Jersey style, July 23rd and 24th. Watch the top pros on water go bar to bar in a points battle for a national championship. Free admission and fun for the whole family. That's Friday and Saturday, July 23rd and 24th at Steel Pier, Atlantic City, New Jersey. New racer info and more at prowatercross.com.
And it's going to be the juniors 10 to 12 and 13 to 15. I've got so many Cinderella stories. Cinderella story.
Well, by all means, make sure you add the stories. You've been on the tour much longer than I have.
I'll talk about him just a little bit, Jamie.
Alrighty, then let's do this. Results from race number 1. Do they?
Yeah, they already got the math. It makes it real easy for you.
It does. The math is already done. I'm so used to having back.
We're not old school, buddy.
Old school, quick figuring it out while we do it. So.
Boston, Juan Rada, Gio, and John. Thank you for watching Pro Watercross.